Just unmuted you speaking.
Okay. Ready?
I think I have a self-use, I can't see. David, the self-use, so they can see where they look.
You're just starting. Right.
Okay.
Welcome to our launch of our digital certificates. We told you something cool was coming, something big was coming, something exciting was coming. And this afternoon, we are here to tell you all about what that new, cool, and exciting initiative is that is now coming on stream from the Heart NSTA Trust. Thank you so much for taking time from your very busy schedules to join us this afternoon as we officially launch our digital certification, otherwise known as our Block Certs. I am Julia Smiley Green, Director of Marketing and Communications here at the Heart NSTA Trust. And it will be my pleasure to take you through the proceedings as your moderator this afternoon. With me, we have Dr. Janet Dyer, our Managing Director here at the Heart NSTA Trust. And we also have Sanjay, who is our Manager for Business Intelligence in our Information Technology Center here at the Heart NSTA Trust. I also want to welcome online the persons who have taken time out to join us as well. We have an employer, Mr. Errol Lingo, operations manager at the Moon Palace Hotel, who has joined us and will be one of the persons endorsing this digital certification for us this afternoon. Welcome, Mr. Lingo, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
You're welcome.
Great. We also have in our midst this afternoon Dr. Paulette Shand, the Senior Director for the NCT VET. We also have Ms. Natalie Reed, who is the Manager for the Information and Records Management Unit at the NCT VET. And of course, we have Ms. Marsha Grant, who has also joined us, Senior Programs Director for the Dual Certification Unit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and it will indeed be a pleasure to share the next hour or so with you as we unveil our digital certification and speak to our participants or trainees or past trainees and the Jamaican public at large about this new and exciting initiative that I'm sure will be a welcome one from many of our persons, particularly persons who have gone through training with us and may have had the experience where they had some delays in getting their physical certification after completing assessment. We're here this afternoon to let you know that we have now revolutionized that process and we have significantly reduced the time between which you become certified and when you have your credentials to present to your potential employer. So without any further ado at this time, I'm going to be inviting our Managing Director, Dr. Janet Dyer, to bring the official opening remarks and welcome and to tell you a little bit more about what this new digital certification will mean. Dr. Dyer?
Thank you, Julia. Greetings to our virtual audience this afternoon. The Heart NSTA Trust has been intentional and steadfast in our quest of being more efficient and adaptable to the needs of our trainees. I'm mindful that for a number of years, we have had to grapple with frustration among trainees due to long delays in receiving their physical certificates. We have constantly assessed and addressed our inefficiencies, and the agency is now much more equipped to properly serve and certify our target audience. It is with this in mind that I'm delighted to witness the launching of our new digital certificate solutions known as Block Certs. As we strive to maintain our commitment to supporting our trainees in their academic and professional success, we will be providing them with their respective certificates in Block Certs. Jamaica is without any doubt a well-connected and fast-emerging digital society. Hence, this Block Cert is a critical organizational initiative as it will redefine our posture and intent to serve and thrive in this new digital world, especially given the COVID-19 pandemic. The new digital certification will offer students the following benefits: the practicality of storing their academic credentials in a wallet app on their smartphones, the ease of sharing their credentials and posting them online directly from their wallets or from their phones. The Block Certs are verifiable in an online portal for free. What that means is that anyone they send their credentials to, whether it be an employer, a licensing agency, an organization, then move into other programs that need their certificate, they will be able to immediately and effortlessly authenticate their credentials online with a simple drag and drop process. The verification process will take approximately 6 seconds from start to finish. Block Certs will empower trainees with true ownership of their credentials, doing away with the dependence on our respective institution to reissue the respective physical certificates when they go missing. Our trainees receive it. It is theirs to store, share, and have verified however they want for the lifetime of the credential. Block Certs will also assist the agency as well as our trainees to counter the issues of duplication and counterfeit certifications. Once the new solution is launched, all successful students will receive their NVQs, CVQs, or their job certificate in Block Certs. However, students who have earned their certificate in the past and would like to be part of this new Block Cert movement will need to make the request to have their physical certificate now transferred to the digital format. To facilitate this, the request the software development unit has developed a certificate request module, which will be hosted on the training management system. This is a major development for our trainees, as they will have their certificates at their fingertips, which qualifies them not only to work in Jamaica, but to work on the international market. This should increase the numbers of trainees who are able to demonstrate competence that are aligned to international standards. Data shows that Jamaica is on a path to rapid economic development and job creation, which means that new jobs are being made available. This increasing demand for more skilled professionals, employees who have been complaining about their struggles to find the necessary talents will now be able to use this app to be able to authenticate the validity of the certificates that persons take to them. We have worked assiduously with our investors and industry partners to create a trained and certified labor force to ensure that jobs remain in this country and that our people are empowered, which is very important for us as the National Human Capital Development Agency. I hope this information that has been passed on to you this afternoon and the discussion that will follow will prove fruitful as you all leave with a clearer idea of this new and significant development for the organization. Now, I want you to sit back, relax, as we take you through this new initiative for the organization. Welcome again and thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dyer. I'm sure our virtual audience feels much more welcomed at this point. And I'm sure we also now have a pretty good understanding of what this new digital certification is all about. I'm hoping that persons are also starting to get excited now to become a part of that first set who will be getting their block certification by way of this digital certification that we are launching. And I'm also happy to report that we have already issued over 1,000 of these certifications digitally. And a little further in the program, we're going to be hearing from at least one person who would have downloaded and accessed his digital credential and is now able to share that experience with us. But before we get to that, we're going to be inviting Miss Marsha Grant at this point to tell us a little bit more about this concept of digital certification and what is involved in that verification process that our trainees will have to undergo for them to be able to access their digital certificate once they have successfully completed training and have also been successful in their assessments. Marsha?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right, so backing off what Dr. Dyer mentioned, the process for accessing your digital certification is very, very easy. In the pilot phase, the first thing we have to recognize is that you will have to verify your emails. So the HeartTrust has created a portal for you to do just that. So the first step for you as a candidate who would like to verify your email is really to access the portal, put in your details. So you're going to put in your email address and the course that you have done. I'm sharing my screen, so I'm just going to show you the portal. Is everybody able to see the portal? I'm not sure if you're able to see it.
Yes,
All
not
right, so
yet.
this is the port. Okay, so this is the Mr.
Yeah,
Lingo is seeing.
we're
All
seeing
right,
it.
so this is the portal that will be made live this afternoon after the launch. So candidates will be able to access this portal and they will put in their TRN, their name, the particular qualification that it is that they are requesting the certificate for, and they will validate. Validate means that if you put in let's say you made a mistake or you put in the wrong qualification, it is not going to show up. So once you validate and the system finds that this was the course you did, it will carry you to the second page where you put in your email. Very important, the email that you put in is the email that you want your job search to go to. So this is your secure email that it is going to be sent to. Once this is complete, all this information is sent to us at the HeartTrust, and we will then process from there. Now, how do you get this certificate? So once it is processed, the next step is that you will get the certificate in your email. Now, you're going to get an email that says accessing and verify, sorry, it says NCT Vet e-credentials, and it comes with a list of instructions. I am also going to share that with you so you can see a little visual of what to expect. Now, the job cert, the certificate can be accessed either in the app or on your computer. So depending on which one is more comfortable for you, you can do that. So I'm sharing and I'm going to share my certificate. 1 second, tell me when you are able to see. Are you able to see?
Not yet. It's not there yet.
It's not there yet. It's showing on my screen, so I'm just...
It's coming up.
It's coming up, all right.
No,
Tell me when.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so this is the email I got that indicates to me that I have received a qualification. So it does come with now instructions as to how it is that you are going to access this qualification. So it says for students, so it will tell you the first thing you need to do is to download the file that is attached. Once you have downloaded the file that is attached, you are going to choose between the NCT Vet Credential Verifier or the Block Cert Verifier. You put the link in there and it will tell you if your certificate is valid. Because we are doing it on the computer today, I'm going to show you how to do that one. However, just reading further, if you have the BlockCert app on your phone, it's a similar process. So you'll open the app and you'll be able to see it. Additionally, and later on when we speak to Mr. Lingo, I am able to forward this email to an employer who is also able to verify. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, if you look right at the bottom of my screen, I've already downloaded the app, the credential. I click on the NCT Vet credential verifier. Are you seeing a new screen come up that says NCT Vet credentials verification?
Yes.
All right, so I would put my my BlockCert in there, and this is what comes up. So this is the validation process. So it says the format has been validated, its status check, it's a verified certificate. If I X out of this now, you actually are going to see my certificate. Are you seeing my certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, easy peasy, don't it? It is even easier on the phone, because what it means on the phone is that you actually now have it in the palm of your hand. And you can just click share at the bottom and you send it via email. You can send it via WhatsApp to the person who you want to share it with. And really, that is the process. And we really are encouraging persons, as soon as this is over, log on to the HeartTrust website, click on verify certificate, put in your credentials and verify your certificate. It moves much faster. You are able to get it, and it is much more portable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marsha. And we see you have your level 4 certification. Congratulations. There you go. And we want all persons who are interested in being certified to come on board with us. Register for a program of your choice, get your training, get assessed, and get your certification via this digital platform that we are now offering. Thank you so much, Marsha. You made that process look so easy. And I'm sure our participants online were able to relate to the information that you were giving to them. We have Mr. Errol Lingo, who is also online with us as an employer and one of the pioneers, because I believe Mr. Lingo is going to be one of the first employers to testify to the fact that this digital certification that we are speaking about actually works. And so at this time, it gives me pleasure to invite Mr. Errol Lingo, Operations Manager at the Moon Palace Hotel, to share his experience with us from the perspective of an employer who has had the opportunity to interface with this digital certificate.
Thank you, my lady. It's funny. So Martin Luther King who says, the time is always right to do what is right. And this is a perfect time for what I call cutting edge experience. When Marsha sent me the information and asked me to go on and see how easy it was really what we say in Jamaica, 1, 2, 3, or ABC. It was that easy. I went in, I clicked, as I said, I got a file, so I downloaded it in my system. I went to verify and I just clicked on either the BlockCert or NCT, but either one of them you clicked on, it brings up information just like Marsha had on the screen, and bam, it's right there. So yes, I think it's really cutting edge experience, and it's the way to go. I mean, no longer you have to wait to verify these things. I mean, it comes right to your door, and all you have to do is open the door. My pleasure to be one of the persons to have tested it, and I must say, kudos to your heart. I think you're on the right track. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Lingo.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Lingo. And we're happy that as an employer, you can testify to just how easy the process is to verify a certificate that is issued digitally. And we're looking forward to you sharing future experiences with us about how much more easy your recruitment process will now be once you are able to, in 1, 2, 3 steps, verify a digital certificate that has been issued through the NCT. So we really appreciate the commendations and the kind sentiments that you have shared. And we look forward to a continued relationship with you to benefit our trainees who will become your future employees.
As I would say, amen. So let it be.
Thank you so much. And speaking of trainees who may be seeking future employment, we actually have one trainee who has decided to share his experience having downloaded and accessed his digital certificate. So we're going to be hearing now from Michael Hewitt, who was able to download his digital credential and wants to share his experience with us. Pre-recorded and sent in to us. So while we wait for that to come up, I want to encourage you who have joined us online. If you have questions or comments that you want to share, go ahead and send those to us in the chat box. We will endeavor to respond to those questions and comments that you may have. And we also have coming up, we're going to have a panel discussion segment where we're going to be hearing more from the NCT vet about the role that they have played in getting us to this stage today where we're able to launch the digital certification. We will be hearing from Ms. Grant because she also has a wealth of knowledge, having been actively involved in the verification process of sending out those emails to our trainees and having them go through the process of verifying their credentials, their emails, so that they're able to access the digital certification once it is sent. And of course, we have Sanjay from the Business Intelligence Unit, who has been very active in helping us to develop the system to facilitate this process that has become so much more easy for persons to access their certification and to share with their potential employees. So just before we get to the discussion segment, let's now hear from Michael about his experience having accessed his digital credential. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can see for yourself just how excited Michael was to share his experience about how he was able to quickly access his certification by way of his digital credential and how happy he is to be able to have that readily available to share with his potential future employers. We're going to be moving into the discussion segment just now. And I want you to also continue to send in your comments, questions, feedback, because we want to hear from you about just how you feel about this new and exciting initiative that we're launching. And also, if you feel that there are opportunities for us to become more innovative as we serve you, then we also want to hear those ideas and recommendations as well. So as we go into the discussion segment now, I'm going to reintroduce the panel, Ms. Marsha Grant. We have Sanjay, we have Natalie, and Dr. Shan from NCT Vet. And I'm going to ask Sanjay, just to kick us off, as the person who would have been so integral from that ICT perspective in walking us through the process that has led us to now being able to share this digital credential and launch it officially to the public. What were some of the things that were involved in that process, Sanjay? And what are some of the lessons that you want to share with us this afternoon?
Thank you, Julian. When we started off, we had some clear objectives. One, we wanted to improve the time it takes for our students to get their certificate. And we want to make sure to bring in something which will prevent fraudulent activities associated with the certificates. And we want to retain the value of our certificate, because if you look into the industry, in the market, there are different forms of digital certificates. Some are called badges. So anyway, even if you do go in for a 2-day program, you would get a credential. Sometimes it's called badge. So we wanted something more which is unique and ensures that it provides some value to our certificate. So we looked around for quite a lot of solutions. In fact, 2 or 3 of them. And it was around the same time we came across block certs. Block certs is a technology based on blockchain. Blockchain is one of the most secure technologies around the world. It's a distributed register where records can be maintained. Banks across the world and even armed forces, armed forces across the world are trying to use blockchain for its security perspective. So at one look at it, we realized it's something very useful for us, because we were aware of fraudulent activities associated with our certificates. You would have noticed recently there was an article in the newspaper highlighting this. So that itself was a big buy-in for us. And also the fact it was a very innovative and futuristic technology. We have over 2 million smartphones in the country. So we are quite empowered as far as digitally concerned. There's a fast emerging digital society around us. And we wanted a solution which fits into that society. So we actually went into, this was our default choice based on the discussion we had at NCTVET. We realized this is our choice going forward.
There is you keep talking about security and how secure this credential is, Sanjay. My understanding is that there is a tamper-proof feature that exists within this digital credential. Tell us about that feature.
Yes, no, the technology used, the blockchain technology itself, it's built on this premises of security. Beyond that, the certificate itself is encrypted. When Marsha showed you the certificate comes in form of a JSON file, JavaScript object notation file. And if anybody, you can open that file and try to tamper with it. Try making adjustments to that file and try to re-verify it on the portal. It will immediately tell you that it's not a valid certificate. So any changes you make to that certificate or the file attached will make that certificate ineffective. So it's essentially, this is an encrypted file which is anchored on a blockchain register. The blockchain register is the same register where bitcoins are, the digital currency is used very much. The world banks on Bitcoin network. So at this point in time, there is no way, to prevent if anything anything is tampered with the file. There's no way to tamper with it as far as at this point in time. Nobody has found a way to hack into this solution. We don't know what happens in the future, but currently there is no way you could hack into this.
All right. Thank you so much, Sanjay. It is very encouraging to hear about that tamper-proof feature. We have our representatives on from the NCTVET, and I would love to hear from their perspective now, from both Dr. Shand and Mrs. Reed, to tell us a little bit more about the current process and the time that it takes for persons to get their physical certification now. And we want to do a comparison between the time it now takes to get that physical certificate and the time it will take for persons to get that digital certificate.
Okay, good afternoon, colleagues and our visitors who are online. I am Paulette Shand. from the NCT vets. And NCT vet is proud to be involved in achieving these milestones in the implementation and the issuing of block certs. But before I say anything else, I want to publicly say thanks to Sanjay, who has worked assiduously with the NCT vet from the onset. He was there with us when we were developing the requirement. He was there also to do the business case when we went into procurement, and every step of the way he was there. The workshops that we had with the supplier, he was always there and working with us. And I must also say thanks to the ISTS team, who were the persons on the ground ensuring the systems were in place as NCT vet came up with the requirements that we needed, guided by Mr. Sanjay. They were always there working with us. Currently, the process that we have at NCT vet, it takes some time, 40 days, for some cohort, 20 days to issue those certificates. So we can say that this project is entering into delivering block certs will certainly cut down on the time that we use to process and disseminate the certificates. Also, the security of these certificates, we will eliminate fraudulent practices. And that is an excellent thing for the organization. We will also help our employers to be able to verify what they get from NCT, the certificates, because it takes some time for them to send to NCT vet and for NCT vet to get back to them to say whether these certificates that they have been presented with, they are genuine or not. So we are grateful for this great step. At this time, I'll allow Mrs. Reed to add anything else that she has to say.
Good afternoon, colleagues and viewers. I will greatly endorse what Dr. Shan had just shared about the lengthy process that we currently use to print and to issue our certificates. The process is very manual, very labor intensive, and it has a lot of administrative and logistics issues. She commented on the fact that we have 2 cohorts, each assigned a different timeline, 40 and 20 days. And of course, that is just for the printing of certificates. The issue of getting the certificates in the hands of the customer has constantly been a sore point. And so we are very happy for this new technology, the way how we have digitally transformed the actual issuance of certificates. The verification process of a certificate, I want to also underscore that it will save employers a great time in verifying the certificates that are presented to them, because that also in itself is a manual process, and we are happy for this technology.
Thank you, Dr. Shand and Mrs. Reed. And before that, Sanjay, who would have commented on it as well. We have some comments coming in from our viewers on YouTube. Stana is saying, I got that far, but I thought I would be able to download the certificate. I suspect this comment would have come in during the explanation that Marsha was providing about the verification process. So we're not sure of the exact step that you're referring to, Stana, that you would have gotten to and not be able to pass that. So if you could just send us another comment to clarify exactly where you would have gone in the process, I'm sure someone will be able to assist you to continue so you can get to the point where you're able to download your certificate. Kawane Anderson says, will we be receiving the certificates in both digital and physical form? Sanjay, I'm going to ask you to address that one for us.
Well, we will continue to maintain on the printed paper-based certificates until the near future. All right. So, but they have to go through the normal process. They need to go to their training location, make the request, which will be forwarded to NC-TIBet, and NC-TIBet will issue them the paper certificate. But we encourage them to use the digital certificate because we are going to work with the private and public sector employers and encourage them to use the digital certificate because it's more credible credential.
All right. And you mentioned, Sanjay, that we're going to be working with our employers to sensitize them. Tell us a little about the plan that we have as we roll out the sensitization program for this digital certificate.
I said it's more going to be digital and possibly a face-to-face. Given the pandemic, we might not be able to meet them face-to-face, but we intend to keep them appraised of the developments through emails and other forms of intimating them.
Great.
Because if you look at the email itself, when a student forwards an email from them, you will see there is a section where for the employers, for them to say how they can download and verify it.
Great. So we're encouraging our employers to look out for future communication from us as we provide you with more details and propose dates that you can consult with us to learn more about this digital certification. We have a commendation that is coming in from the YouTube page from Michael Johnson, who says, I've been waiting so long for this to be implemented. Well done, Hard Trust. And we're heartened by the sentiments that you have extended, Michael. We thank you so much. And of course, we continue to try and innovate our processes to ensure that we are changing with the dynamic workforce that we are here to serve and meeting the needs of our stakeholders in meaningful and targeted ways. We have a few other questions that are coming in. Runaway says, greetings. Which Heart Institute offers solar system installation for 3 to 6 months? For that one, Runaway, we're going to encourage you to visit our website. It's www.heart-nsta.org, and you can type in the course that you are interested in the search feature there, and you will be able to identify where the course is available and what period it will be open for. You may also go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on whether you're an Android or an iOS user, and download and access the Heart on the Go app, because you can also get the information there about the courses that are available, and you will be able to apply directly from there. Trishana Stanley says, will Heart Trust be taking more of their courses online? And I think for that one, we can say, yes, Trishana. The world is changing. We have to adapt to how the world is changing. And we are making a concerted effort here at Heart to ensure that we are offering more programs online so that you can conveniently access them on the go or in the comfort of your homes or offices or business places, wherever you may want to access our courses. So we have started the process to ensure that at least 50% of all the courses that we offer are available online. And that is, of course, just the starting point as we continue to ensure that we are meeting the needs of all our stakeholders. I want to go back to our panelists for a bit at this point. And I want for our panelists to tell us a little bit more about what employers can expect in terms of the verification process that they will have to undergo once we start to roll out the digital certification in greater numbers. Perhaps Sanjay could start, and then the representatives from NCT, Mrs. Reed or Dr. Shan could chime in as well.
Yeah, no, I think we have a master list of all employers who normally come to us for verification. That will be the first step. We'll be contacting them, informing about this with some more information on how to verify it, and why it's important they insist on a digital credential. And of course, generally, as I mentioned earlier, we'll have to engage the private sector and the public sector in sensitizing them of the new solution.
All right, thank you, Sanjay. Dr. Shan, you wanted to come in and make a point there?
Oh, not really. I think Sanjay has addressed that.
All right.
Well, I just want to comment though that it will be immediate access to the verification component of the system.
All right, great.
That in itself is a great benefit. So they will not have to call in to the NCT vet or to write in, or even to go on the NCT vet website where we currently allow for the verification of certificates. But it will be right there on attached to the system, so they will just have immediate access to those things.
One more thing I want to add to is,
Go ahead.
This is an open source platform, the block source, which simply means even if HeartRest is non-existent tomorrow, the certificate will still be valid. All right, so it's going to be always there in the register. The second thing is, since it's a blockchain based and it's anchored on security, employers can trust it. They don't need any other verification. If the verifier says it's verified, it's as good as verified.
Great. It's always good to get that assurance, Sanjay. We thank you for that. And we have additional comments. Stana says he or she, I'm not sure, was able to view, he was able to view his certificate. So we have someone else who is now able to testify to the fact that they were able to access their digital credential. And Sanjay, there's one comment from our viewer online, Kawane, that I want you to address. Kawane is saying, how can persons who have received certificates prior to the launch of this digital certification system get digital versions of those certificates?
We have provided a facility on our website, which will be launched today. So students can go in there, and there is an interface where you can put in your qualification, your name, TRN, qualification, and the level. And there is because one thing, most important thing in this process is everybody needs to have a legitimate email address.
Yes.
So that interface will allow them to register their email, and we use something called a multi-factor authentication system, where it will send a confirmation email to them, and once they click on that, that request will be registered. And in our next batch of issuing a certificate, we will be issuing those.
Great. And are you also able to say how long will that process take?
Yeah, this is a new product. So in the first phase, I consider this year as the first phase. We expect to issue certificates within 5 to 10 days for each batch, because there is a limitation on how many batches we can issue. But we are working with the service provider, and early next year, it will be as immediate, maybe in 24 to 48 hours, we will be able to issue certificates to the candidates.
All right, great. So there you have it. Lots of information to consume, but we want to encourage you to go to the website and access the digital cert portal. Once we have completed this launch event, the portal will go live. So remember to go to heart-nsta.org to access the portal, because apart from the fact that you'll be able to access your certificate and undergo the verification process, we're also going to be updating that portal from time to time with information in small bits to help you to learn more about what the digital certification entails, and what it will mean for you as a trainee, past trainee, employee, and also or employers who will have to go through the verification process. So at this point, we want to say thank you for joining us and for being a part of this historic event this afternoon, where we are launching another innovative product that the Heart NSTA Trust has introduced. Just before we wrap up, if you have additional questions or comments, keep them coming, because we want to ensure that we address them all before we leave. But I'm going to, at this point, allow each of us or panelists just to give any last words that they would want about the digital certificate and what it means for our trainees, or employees, and or employers. So I'll start with Sanjay.
As I mentioned earlier, we live in a digital society. Technologies are transforming our lives, whether it's dealing with banks or education. So we have a technology is in with the time, all right? And as I said, there are 2 million smartphones in the country. So we want to empower you to own your certificates and manage your certificates. So this is a novel and innovative product. We want you to buy in or get onto, because it's going to empower you to operate in this society.
Great. Marsha, what do you have to say to our viewers?
Well, I'd like to encourage everybody to go ahead and apply for the digital certificates. And of note, the digital certificates and the platform is tied to your TRN. So what it means is that we will pick up all the certificates under your name. So that is very, very important as well, because there are many persons who have stackable credentials. So it's not only one certificate you're eligible to get under the digital platform. All of your certificates, you can get them. And when you download the app, you get what is called a wallet. So same in a regular wallet where you have lots of money and different things, in your wallet, all of your certificates will be housed there. So that is also an awesome thing for you.
Dr. Shand and Mrs. Reed first. Dr. Shand, followed by Mrs. Reed. Let's take your comments.
Okay. I just want to say to our potential recipients that we are happy to know that we can help you to have ownership of your own records. And you can share these records with whoever you want to share these records with. So don't hesitate to apply for your block certs.
Great. Mrs. Reed, your final words?
I just want to say that this innovation is a very timely one in the midst of the COVID-19 virus. We really had to find an efficient solution to get the certificates quickly into the hands of our valued customers. And so this is really a transformation of how we do things here in terms of certificate processing.
Thank you so much. And I want to remind our viewers to go to the website to get the additional information. We did promise you that something cool was coming. And what cooler thing could we have had coming than your certificate in a digital form? We are going to be wrapping up our session this afternoon, but we want you to stay tuned to our social media pages. Heart NSTA Trust. You may find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can go to our website for additional information. You may call any one of our institutions or offices island-wide to get additional information, not just about our digital certificate, but also about our training and other product offerings that we have to make you more employable, and also to help you to upskill and retool as we pivot in these critical times where we're responding to the COVID-19 pandemic that has come and caused some disruption in some instances, but has also presented some opportunities for growth for expansion, and for us to maximize our potential. And I want to encourage all of us to make use of all the avenues available. Before we go though, we're going to be hearing once again from Michael Hewitt, who would have shared his experience earlier about accessing his digital credential and how that has made him feel. And cause some disruption in some instances, but has also presented some opportunities
my digital certificate
for expansion and for us
using the block search site.
maximize our potential. And I want to encourage all of us to make use of all the avenues available. Before we go though, we're going to be hearing once again from Michael Hewitt, who would have shared his experience earlier about accessing his digital credential and how that has made him feel. And cause some disruption in some instances, but has also presented some opportunities
my digital
for expansion and for us
using the block search site.
maximize our potential. And I want to encourage all of us to make use of
And Wagwan. This is Michael Hewitt, and I just retrieved my digital certificate from NCT Vet using the block search site. I got an email from Carchos and I opened it and I retrieved my certificate. And I'm encouraging you to do so. The benefits of this is that you're able to build your portfolio of evidence, you're able to share it with your HR department and recruiters, and also you have it wherever you go. As you can see, I have it on my phone. And I'm encouraging you guys to do the same today. And thank you. Using the
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have officially launched our digital certificates. We have already issued over 1,000 certificates. We have an employer who has come this afternoon and testified about how it was 1, 2, 3, that easy to verify the digital certificate. We have a former trainee who has his certification in a digital form who has said, oh, this is so cool, I have been able to access my digital certification. And we have so many of you, our viewers online, who we are sure will also want to get in on this and to access your digital certification. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon. We wish you well and we encourage you to access our products and services, get trained, get certified, and remember that your certification is not only coming in a physical form now, you're also getting a digital certificate that is making life so much easier for you. Thanks again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and we bid you adieu.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future. Jamaica and its workforce